Hello everyone, my name is Gasol. Today I will talk about how to do the navigation drawer in Android Studio. In this lesson I will use Android Studio 2, which is the latest version today. And as you can see, this is the navigation drawer. It's a typical feature for Android application these days. So you can contact me on YouTube, youtube.com, user Gasol, or Facebook, Gasol Geek, Twitter, or Gasol, or you can download my source code at Gasol Geek at GitHub as well. So I will make the 3 videos about this kind of thing because there are many things to be covered. In this video particularly, I will talk about the basic thing of the navigation drawer, and I will talk about the icon, the color, menu, and how to add fragments as well. In part 2, I will talk about how to add views on the fragment. For example, how to add a button, edit text, leave view, recycler view, okay? And then you want to have an event handler on that view on the fragment as well. And part 3 is kind of bonus thing. You might not need it, but maybe someone need it. This one is about how to change the navigation drawer from the left side to the right side. As you can see on Facebook, if you go to Facebook app, you see the navigation drawer is still exists there, but it's not from the left side, it's from the right side. And so I will show you how to do that. Um, and also the animation, like you click on this one, the animation will come up or maybe from the left, slide in, slide out like that. Okay, it's not the full animation, but it's like the basic thing. Okay, so let's go to Android Studio. As you can see now, I use Genie Motion, which is the faster emulator. Rather than use the native one, you can download from Genie Motion. It's free. Okay. So this is the user interface. Oh, there is an update for the Android SDK as well, but maybe I will skip it first. So this is the user interface for the Android Studio 2. It's a little bit different from the version 1.5. So let's start a new Android Studio project. Nothing changed, still the same thing. So let's call navigation drawer example 1. Next, see, it's still the same thing. So now we choose this one. Okay, actually you don't have to choose this one at first. You can just use the basic activity as well, and then later on you can add an activity and then choose the navigation drawer. But because we don't have any startup activity, so we just have the, it's just for example. So let's choose that. Okay, let's call it main activity as usual. Okay, now it's completed. Now it's a new activity with the navigation drawer in. So let's just run it and you will see the navigation drawer already. So it's not kind of big thing to do it, like in this day, because it is a template. Like the old day, you have to write your own navigation drawer. It's kind like very painful, but this day very good. But we have to understand, and if we don't understand, we cannot change it. Okay, that's it. Navigation drawer. Okay, but you say like that's it. No, it's not, because you're gonna have to change a lot. This is just a template, okay? But before I go on to the code, I want to kind of like give you a concept of this. Actually, the navigation drawer is a new concept, and Android just put it very late. Like the early version didn't have that. and then it's kind of like a mess because they want to put something like a new thing, and then want to support the old thing. So it's a lot of code going on behind that. Even you see, okay, I click it, and you see the animation slide in, slide out like that. Even the you see that it's a little bit animation. It's it's a painful to do that, but an Android doesn't have any kind of mechanism to hide all the thing. It shows you all the code, and if you don't know that, you can mess it around, and maybe you can end up with a huge error. Okay, so I will explain it step by step, and I hope that you can catch on. So first, you have to understand the layout. Okay, so that there are four layouts just for one activity. As usual, maybe you remember the activity, main activity. Okay, it's gonna create the activity main, and the content is a new thing for Android as well. The activity main is the real layout for anything here. Okay, let's go to the code. You will see it better. See, the activity main has the new tool called drawer layout. The drawer layout as well didn't exist in the early version of Android, so it just added on, you know. And this one you can think like it's like this. Maybe we can go to this one. Like the all of the thing here that you see is the drawer layout. Okay, and you can change, you can you know, make a size like that, but I will show you how to change the size later on. And inside the drawer layout, you can see there are two components. One is include. So include will include another layout called app bar main. This is the app bar main, and you can see um, up here. Okay, it's not inside here, it's up here. Okay, here, and this one. Okay, so the up bar main is similar to the activity main in the blank activity. No, it holds the toolbar and a floating action button, and it's nothing special here. If you want to change it, you can change in the up bar main. And then go back to activity main here. You see the navigation view is a new thing as well. So there are two things here, drawer layout and navigation view. Okay. So the real navigation is here in the navigation view. So it holds a menu, okay, and also the now header main. So where is now header main here? Here is the now header main. Is the kind like here. So it's like the top part of the navigation drawer. You can change the icon. You can change the color as well. So I don't want to change it now. Just want to explain it a little bit. And and here is a menu. It's the most important part here. Here it tied to another menu here. So all the menu that you can see here is inside a menu here. Okay, so double click on that. Now you can see the whole menu, and there is no preview for a menu. So there are two parts. One is a group, and inside the group you have the item tag, which is a simple item as you can see now. Okay, but if you want like a part, for example, this is the like a communication part, so you can have an item, and inside the item you can have a menu, and you can have an item, and inside the item you can have another menu and item as well. So Nothing here because it's just a simple one, and this is the navigation, like the camera. So see the import here. This is the import. Okay, so let's say you want to have any action on that menu. You have to go to main here, and this one, main, and over here you will see the all navigation item selected. It is for the navigation menu, and you can do anything over here. So let's say you want to have a toast, and it's this camera, something like this, and you want to do it on the gallery as well. Just two is enough. Okay, so now, okay, see, and gallery here. Okay, so there's a lot of things over here, and one thing I want to show you as well is that this method is deprecated, so you have to change to add. Okay, so I think it's kind of the IDE code generated thing, you know. So the app bar menu is for this, which is not that important much, you know. You can just change, and if you don't want to change anything, just don't touch it. And here you want to change this, so maybe you want to change to your image. So here is the image, and I'm sorry, no, where is it? Here, yes, here the layout here, background. You can change the background here. Is in the drawable side nav bar. So you go to here. This is this one. Okay. So if you want to change, you can change the color here. Let's say just change to anything. Okay. Okay. And the icon that attaches to the menu here is the icon that created by the XML code. So it's gonna be very flexible, and you can increase the size and decrease the size without any change the resolution. But it's a hard thing to do. You have to understand how to draw it. Okay, so I will not touch it now, but I just want to point it out. So if you want to use it, you can just use it, or if you don't want, you can just browse for an icon from the internet and just change it. Okay, so here is the menu. If you see, it's attached to the icon from the drawable here, and you can just delete any item you don't want to. So let's say I want to use only two, maybe. Just, and then I want to change it to camera, and now go camera, and this one, maybe this one is enough. Okay, so camera, gallery, and now share. And I have to go to main activity here, because here it has the menu, all the menu. So camera, gallery, and share. We don't need this one. Okay. Okay. So now you have a different background here. You can have a different menu as you like. Okay. So now it's time to add some fragment. So what is fragment? If you don't know fragment, fragment is a piece of thing inside an activity. It's not the whole part, maybe some part of this. Okay, So you can have multiple fragments in one activity. And for now, as you can see, when you click on this, you will touch one thing here, which is the fragment. Okay. And if you click on gallery, you will see another thing, which is another fragment attached to the activity. Okay. So you have to understand and use the fragment in the navigation drawer. But actually, drag fragment is not that hard. Fragment is a like a different kind of activity, but it's not activity. It's a small part of activity. So let's create a new fragment here. So you go to new and fragment here. You can just use blank one fragment. As you can see now, it's a part of this. It's not the whole thing. It's just something here. And the fragment, you see, there are three checks. Okay, so the first one is very important because you want to have layout attached to the fragment, and then this one will make a lot of code for you, but sometimes you don't need it. But let's start from the unchecked one, and I will create another activity with this check, and the last one with the all checks. Okay, so let's uncheck it. So that's all, and maybe we want to change maybe camera fragment like that. So this is a fragment, and if you notice it, it extends to a fragment, not app compact activity. This one is app compact activity, but this one is fragment. And the code is less than the activity. You need only one method. It's called onCreateView, which is the most important method for a fragment. And I want to point out one thing here in Android manifest. Usually when you create an activity, you will see an activity attached to Android manifest here, around here, okay? But this one is not. It's not activity, it's a fragment. So we will not touch any code in Android manifest, okay? So here is a fragment. And maybe you want to add something, okay? So it has the layout as well. So here is the layout, fragment camera. It's kind of mess now. There's a lot of things here. So and the default layout for fragment is frame, but you are free to change to anything. I want to use relative layout. It's just a text. Maybe I want to delete the text here. Maybe I want to add something cool, just for an example. Maybe date, speaker. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to call it from the main activity here. So I will explain this code later, but I will just show you the basic thing here. This is the camera, right? So you want to call the camera. So first, you call camera fragment, as simple like that. New camera fragment. Okay, and you need a fragment manager. Yeah, it's called manager, and get support fragment manager and manager. So here you need a layout for the fragment. Remember when you click on this, you want this to save something with the fragment, the real fragment for the camera, and when you click on the gallery, you want maybe attach the gallery to this one. So what is this one? This one is in the content main, okay? And if you use this kind of navigation drawer in the early version, maybe Android Studio, now I'm using Android Studio 2, but 1.5 was okay. But if you use maybe 1.4 or earlier than that, you don't have the content main here. So the content main here is for the content thing, and before you have only activity main. and inside the activity main you will see something like you have like a list view or maybe some linear layout for the fragment. But now it separate the thing, so the content main here is just for the fragment. Okay, and because in the activity main here it attached like include the app bar main, and inside the app bar main it will include the content main, so it's like a layer under layer under layer. So it's kind of tricky, but it is important for flexibility. Now you can have a separate layout for the fragment. You don't have to write any code inside here. You have their own layout. So you have to know the name of this relative layout and then done. Okay. So what is this? So remember, when you click on this, double click, you can change the ID of the layout. So I just call relative layout for fragment. Okay, so a kind of long name, but it's very important because you can attach the fragment in here. So relative layout for fragment, and then you go back to main activity here, and here is the layout you want to replace. So dot layout, and where is it? No, sorry. All.id dot relative layout for fragment here, and now you want to attach which fragment. Okay, so this is the replacee. Okay, and this is the replacer. What is the replacer? Here is the camera. Okay, so this is the target you want to replace. So, and remember the camera fragment here, it attaches to the fragment camera, the fragment camera here. So it will replace something from here to something in here by this 3 lines of code. Okay, so remember, first create an object from the fragment, use the fragment manager here, and then call the begin transaction, replace, and with this. Okay, but maybe you need another one. It's very important as well, called get tag. The last option here is important when you want to call the fragment back from the fragment manager. Okay, you can call it by tag. I will explain it later on, and if you want to know now, maybe you can discover this, but now we don't need it, but it's important for later on. So okay, so now camera, see, you can see the layout from the camera fragment here. Okay, so even the hello world is not removed, it's just like attached to that, so it's like place something over that. So you might want to go to content main and remove this one. Okay, now it's done, but maybe you want to discover more when you want to add another fragment. So like I told you early on, when you create a fragment, there are 3 options. Okay, now I want to leave this and use only the include fragment factory method, and I will call it maybe gallery. Okay, so this code a little bit messy actually, because it will generate a factory method for you. It's important when you want to pass some data from one activity to another. In this case, you can just call the new instance which is the factory method in the design pattern from Gang of All. And this method will take two parameters and it will pass by bundle, and then you can get it back from the uh, parameter 1 and parameter 2. Okay, and then you can use it in here, the on create view. Okay, and now you don't want to touch anything here, maybe just want to call it. So here quite similar, but I want to show you how to call the method here. So gallery fragment, and then you call gallery fragment of new instance here. Now you can pass the data from here. So let's say something, maybe some1, some2. Yes. And then you need the same code here, except you want to change this. And you will pass the relative layout for the fragment, okay? Because you want to use the same layout. And in gallery fragment, maybe you want to go to the resource and you want to change something. Fragment gallery here. Again, I want to change the frame layout to relative layout here. Text. And I want to add a clock. Okay, this one is cool enough. Now run it. Okay, so gallery. Okay, and this one is camera gallery. Okay, but now I want to show you how to get the data and then maybe show the data inside the gallery fragment. So because it passed from the parameter 1, parameter 2, now you can use that. So maybe just false. Okay, and maybe log better, because false will need something else, and I will show you in the next video. And this one I will just use the log and maybe just parameter, and maybe I will define tag here. Okay, so you can see the data in the log, and this is the param1, param2. Okay, now you go to gallery, and the tag is the gallery fragment. See that? This is sum1 and sum2. So the method here, the new instance, is a very good way to pass the data around from one fragment to another. Okay, so now I want to show you the last part of the fragment. So use the blank again. This one I will check all, include the interface callbacks. Oh, I forgot to change the name blank activity, but doesn't matter. Just an example here. So this is the method you want to pass it. Okay, the parameter 1, parameter 2. And now you can have the callback. Okay, the callback is kind of like when something is done, you can get the data inside the main activity. Remember when you call the new instance, you can pass the data from outside to gallery fragment. But the callback here is on fragment interaction listener is callback. It means like after you've done something in this the fragment, you can get the data outside. Okay, so let's call it. So maybe I want to delete this. And this one is blank. Okay, So just call blank. And because we have the new instance as well, so maybe that one, that two. Maybe I will give the number. So you can change the method as well. Let's say this is a string, and I want to change to maybe integer and maybe just one parameter. I just delete it like this. Okay, and this one is param1, and this one is just comment, delete that as well, and we don't need the param2. Okay, here as well, and the param1 is a string. So it is a string, so I have changed to integer. This, so it's gonna have some problem here, and you got get int instead of get string. This one is a put in as well. Okay, now inside here you want to change something, and remember this, you need to call like, okay, when you're done, then you want to send the data back. Okay, so this is the method that a button press is a method for you to call to send the data from this fragment to outside. Okay, so you want to call it inside here as well, and this method, as you can see, to do rename method, update argument, hook into the UI. So you are free to change anything here. It's just an example for you. So if you want to change, maybe now you want to change the string, right? So I want to change the string to data like this. So this one have to change as well. Sorry, it's a string here. So now I get the data as an integer, and I want to multiply it by maybe 5, and then send the data back. So amperam here. So I will just call integer total like 5. So it's just an example, and I want to send the data back. Total now is a string, so maybe it's better to use the box integer. You can call toString like this. Okay, so now when you press it, you will send the data, and then it will call the on fragment interact, and anyone that in outside that implement the on fragment interact listener, it will receive the data. So this one will get the data, the main activity here. So here, as you can see, now some error because you want to get the data. So maybe just number 5. Okay, and then you will need the same code here. Change blank here. Okay, let's run. Okay, so you go to this and you go to share. Yes. Boom. What is it? Okay. The error here is not the real error, but actually it's just like something to tell you that you forget to implement on fragment interact listener. Okay. Because remember here you need to get the data back when I press the when I pressed on this, okay, on button press. When I call this method, someone will listen, but now there is no one to listen, so you expect it to be working, but actually you need to, but you have to ask this activity to implement the method. So what is it? The blank fragment. Okay, on fragment listener. So you have to call like this because the interface is inside the blank fragment. Okay, so now implement method. So here is the place that you receive the data back. Okay, so now maybe you want to post the data. Show. So we send the data as an integer in files, and it goes to the blank fragment here, do some calculation, and call the on button press, and it will send the data back by the on fragment interaction listener. And inside here, you can get the data back by the on fragment interaction. So this is the new way, and this is the recommended method from Android for you to send the data to Fragment to get the data from Fragment. So go there, and here, see, 25. Okay, so that's it for the basic of navigation drawer. I will meet you in part 2 about the event and view on the Fragment. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.